But many people complain that Canada, you must need a car. Oh, you don't have a car. How can you live? Without car, you cannot live.
Which country is expat friendly?
First thing, the recruiter calls me and say that, oh, your resume is fantastic. It has a lot of information. Every dot, every space in the interview is filled with some qualification.
If I have to compare the process of moving from India to
Mhm.
Netherlands or Netherlands to Canada,
We want to apply every day 100 jobs. So we'll take a resume, attach, send. Please don't do it. It will not work. It will not help you at all.
so how do you compare the lifestyle between Netherlands and Canada? If I have to talk about the challenges after moving about both the
Mhm.
countries, how do you compare? Hi guys, I have Ramesh with me, who is right now sitting in Canada, working there into tech profile. And before coming to Canada, he first moved to Netherlands from India, got a job, and then later he moved to Canada. He will be sharing the details. And yeah, so thank you. First of all, thank you, Ramesh, for coming live here, sharing your experiences, sharing your journey. And yeah, we'll be talking mostly about the comparison between Canada and Netherlands. How are your experiences? Maybe that will be helpful for the guys. So yeah, can you please introduce yourself very briefly, like what you do and whatever you want to share about your background and all?
Okay. Hi, Sandeep. Hope you're doing fine. And really, I thank for this opportunity to discuss and share my views and experiences. I would also say proudly that I'm part of your CDA. That helped me to get various jobs. So my name is Ramesh. I come from southern part of India, and I'm an engineering professional. Worked in an automotive company in India. It's a multinational company. I worked there for something like 15 years. Before to that, I had another 13 years, 3 years experience. Overall, 18 years experience in India. And to have a better career for my wife, she was an accountant, and we have to move. So she got some jobs in Europe, some portion of Europe, and also Canada. We had some supporting people who can offer us a work permit for a short duration. So then it's like I'm working in a multinational company, and if I have to move, then I should find a suitable job. Otherwise, if I don't find a suitable job, it won't be good to move. That is the reason why I have to approach you, and you supported me well. Then I got a job. After that, I could easily move to these countries. Yeah.
Wonderful. So nice, so
Mhm.
nice. So maybe you can tell when did you move and yeah.
Okay. By 2022 April,
Mm-hmm.
I came to Netherlands,
Mm-hmm.
and in Netherlands, I worked for 2 months because I had applied both Canada and Netherlands at the same time, or I applied for Canada a little early. But what happened is it took more than 4 5 months. The application doesn't look like moving. So it's beyond the actual time that is committed in the website, in the IRCC website. So I thought it may be not worth waiting. Meantime, I also applied for various countries like Germany and Netherlands. One thing what I see not good from my side is my notice period at my current company was 3 months. So many employers are not liking that I have 3 months of notice period, and after that I will take another 1 month to join and then start formalities like that. So it will take approximately 4 months to move. So then one employer from Netherlands, he supported. Actually, he's a staffing company. He supported me. He gave me a visa or a job and a visa well before I actually place a resignation. Even the staffing companies normally take us to another company where we'll be working as a contractor. But even before finding a right client, because every client say that if you get a job, if you offer a job, then we will give a kind of contract signature. Then the staffing company provides us a visa and offer letter. So here, the employer or the staffing company took a risk that before finding a client, they gave me job offer. So just to counteract with the 4 months duration of joining, they supported it.
Got it, got
That
it.
way, I could move. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe yours is a different experience, but yes, normally, like most employers
Mm-hmm.
do wait for 3 months. Yes, four
Mm-hmm.
months is challenge sometimes, but yes, 3 months, a lot of employers, because in the academy, a lot of guys getting offers, and yeah, 3 months is a
Mm-hmm.
good time. Like many employers, I would say most of the employers do wait.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what were you doing in Netherlands?
Okay, Netherlands. I joined a company named TMC Electronics. I'm an electronics engineer. Already, I moved to a project manager level, but there the positions are slightly different, but still they pay competitively. I joined as an employee of TMC Electronics, and they send me to ASML because these usually we should not mention a company's name, but it's very significant that we have to mention these companies' name. And actually, ASML at Netherlands is a wonderful company.
Yeah.
Every month they recruit really several hundreds of people. That also creates a negative impact on the region. Means the houses are not available. That's one difficulty what I faced in Eindhoven city. Yeah,
So you lived in Eindhoven. Okay, that's a nice
Eindhoven. Yeah,
place, I think.
nice
Yes.
place. Yeah, it's a lot of electronics companies, especially ASML, who employs really several thousand people. We can say that most of the employees working for ASML.
Perfect, perfect. Can you tell
Yeah.
more about two things? One, when you say
Mhm.
you are an electronics engineer, what exactly you
Mhm.
do? You are into embedded or something else? What is it?
Yeah, I'm in embedded hardware. So
Mm-hmm.
it's for an automotive field. I can also work in non-automotive because ASML is a non-automotive firm. Where what I do is I work with electronic components, circuit design, then sending them to customer. Purely hardware. I don't do any firmware because they also call it as software. So
Okay,
it's a pure electronic components and circuits, boards like we see in the computers and mobile phones. Yeah.
got it, got it, got it. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's talk about the major, like what are
Mhm.
supposed to talk here today.
Mhm.
So how do you compare the lifestyle between Netherlands and Canada? At the general level, we'll go deeper in our questions, but at the high
Mhm.
level, how do you compare the lifestyles?
Okay, lifestyle in Netherlands is something like the government gives you alternate possibilities that you don't drive a car every day. The whole
Mhm.
country is well connected with bicycle pathways. So, person like me who wish to go by bicycle or take an alternate mode of transportation instead of using a car, it's really suitable. Also, people who don't want to spend a lot of money on insurance, vehicle parking, and vehicle EMIs, these things. Netherlands is more suitable. You just buy a slow speed scooter or you buy an electric bicycle, you can make out. Whereas the lifestyle in Canada is something like the typical American lifestyle. You get paid well, and you can own a car. You can quickly buy a car, and you can have a lifestyle that is very different. What many people dream about, a fancy lifestyle we can live there.
Okay, basically hanky panky kind of in
Yeah,
Canada. Okay,
yeah,
but yeah, anyway, like it's feasible to afford the car in Netherlands for sure. So
yeah,
just one thing, yeah, like you mentioned about the bicycle. If I'm not wrong, Amsterdam is called as the bicycle capital of Europe. If I'm not wrong.
yeah, yeah. True,
Amazing.
because you can go there, pay a small money, you can pick an electric bicycle or a normal bicycle, and you can go as long as possible. You only pay for the days or hours. Whereas the whole country, normally what we see in Canada to Netherlands with respect to bicycles. So Canada don't provide bicycle pathways to move from one city to other city. There is no highway connectivity.
Yeah,
You have to go via normal streets. But Netherlands, they have a dedicated bicycle path across the country, so
wonderful.
just your yeah, because when we move into Netherlands, the challenge is that even if I buy an old car, I have to spend something like 10,000 euros, or if I buy a new car, I have to spend 20,000 euros. Then I have to pay for my parking, and then I have to spend some insurance like 100 euros. So what normally person like me thinks is we enter a country, we work, sometimes we use a public transportation or a bicycle is easy. So let us see how it goes well, whether we will be settled down here. Then it's good to buy a car, but it's not expensive though.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
actually
yeah.
in
But
Canada,
but
cars are
anyway,
expensive.
yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, you can take the car loan or something, so that's feasible at the end in both the countries.
For sure, for sure.
Okay. So if we talk about the moving process
Mhm.
from India, for example, definitely you didn't move to Canada from India yourself,
Yeah.
but maybe you might have some knowledge. But yeah, if I have to compare the process of moving from India to
Mhm.
Netherlands or Netherlands to Canada, right? So
Mhm.
what are the how do you compare them basically, the move process in both the
Sure,
countries?
sure. Yeah. So for Netherlands, the employer can quickly support you for a visa. Basically, they get an application filled by us with all our details. They contact the agency called IND, who provides visas to foreign nationals,
Hmm.
and it's a very quick process. So the total process time took us something like 60 days, and within 2 weeks we got an approval. Actual waiting time took us to get an appointment in one of the IND in India, means in Mumbai. And once we visited Mumbai, we gave biometrics and the basic photographic verification. It was actually quite simple. The waiting time is less. And once you enter into Netherlands, you will wait for 1 to 2 weeks to get that resident permit. They call it as RP. That took 2 weeks. It means only appointment. But the day when I went, already they have the resident permit cards ready for me and my wife and my
In
daughter.
Mumbai. In Mumbai.
No, in Netherlands.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So just to
basically we enter.
understand, So sorry
Mhm,
to interrupt. Yeah, just to
mhm,
understand. So first 2 weeks approval was very fast,
mhm.
right? Then you went to Mumbai. It took couple of weeks to get the appointment in IND Mumbai, which is
Yeah.
a Netherlands authority, or
Mhm,
let's say embassy.
yeah.
And then you got your visa stamped on your passport for 3 months, which is generally called as entry permit.
Yeah.
And then you landed in Netherlands, and then
Yeah.
yeah, you showed them, okay, I landed here, this is my address. and
Mhm.
and then you just picked up your card based on all the documentation you provided. Maybe it's employer, or maybe tax details, or your social security, whatever it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Perfect, perfect, that's nice. So, and how about Canada in that case?
So Canada is a little bit different, smart, but taking a lot of time. So I can see which embassy or consulate is near to my location where I live currently. So if I live in Netherlands, I can choose a nearest location. I went to Amsterdam. The same thing if I lived in India, I could have chosen Mumbai, Chennai, or Bangalore. I can choose the location. So Canada is slightly different. They operate from multiple locations,
So
and
flexible.
they're the yeah flexible. Only thing is there the appointments will take a little longer time. It takes more than a month to get the biometrics and verification appointment. You will go, you will give biometrics, and also you have to take a additional medical examination for everyone
Yeah,
who
yeah.
comes. I don't know if it's due to COVID, but we had multiple tests like chest X-ray and various blood tests. So we have to give the report. They see us whether we are healthy, but this process didn't exist for Netherlands.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, yeah, you get a job offer. Your
Hmm.
then your company does LMIA process. It might take
Yeah,
2 to 4 months, 3 months, 6 months.
yeah,
Once this is done, you go to Canadian Embassy in India,
yeah.
and then apply for the documents, apply for the work visa.
Hmm.
And yeah, and during that process, like, you submit the application online, then they will send you a letter to go for medical test. You go to
Yeah,
the nearest city, to the
yeah,
hospital, get the test done. They will submit the reports to the embassy itself directly. Then once this is approved, you will see the status in the portal, Canadian portal. Once
yeah.
this is done, so then yeah, then next are just the formalities that okay, they will tell you, okay, on this date, or like in this period you have to come and get the passport stamped. Is it?
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, it took almost 4.5 months after we finished the initial biometric and medical examinations, application submission, everything was done. After that, it took 4 to 5 months
Okay.
to get an invitation. They call it as a passport submission,
Yeah,
and we have to go physically submit the passport and pay for a postage, and then we come back and we get the passports delivered to our home.
got it, got it.
Yeah, and after that, when we enter the country, it's the same like Netherlands. Once we enter the country for the first time, we will go to the border security. After that, they will
Okay.
verify our document. One thing is Canada gives additional paper called work permit,
Yeah.
which is again a one-page document, and there they will say till when it's valid. So throughout the country, often we will refer to this work permit. We join a job, or we get an apartment for rent, lease, or buy anything. We have to use this work permit. It's like RP, what we get in Netherlands, the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So maybe if you want to highlight some of the challenges, or maybe couple of challenges
Mhm.
in when you were moving to Canada or moving to Netherlands after you got the offer, before you applied for the visa or during the visa application process, anything specific which you didn't like, okay, that can be eased out.
Okay. Okay. In this case, I would say the process in Netherlands is good, but only thing what I didn't like is only at the employer side, they are expecting us to join in 1 month, 1.5 months, which is what I had experienced. Not
But
many
yeah, that's
employers are
again
ready.
personal thing. Yeah, like I said
Personal thing,
earlier.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right, yeah. Apart from that, Netherlands, I didn't see any big issue. It was very smooth, and we can do that. Only thing what I see difference is you will get a job offer, and then you will place a resignation at our own company. After that, means we will apply everything parallelly. We apply for a visa parallelly, then we get it done. But what
Mhm.
happens if our visa is refused? So these chances are very, very less
Yeah,
with Netherlands.
yeah,
But
yeah.
whereas Canada, there are cases that they see that you don't have enough funds. Even if you go for a work permit, they think that you may not come back after ending your work permit duration. You may run and escape, and you live a like illegal stay.
Yeah, right.
That's possibly some. So they have that process, because very few people get rejected, and especially the student applications get rejected, and some work permits also. But it's not. It's only gives a fear, and if it takes 4, 5 months, 6 months, so we get a fear whether we will get or not. We already placed a resignation. This is one thing. So I would expect Canada to improve the process, make it faster. Something like 2 months,
So
3 months is practical. Yeah.
just to understand, what you are
Hmm.
saying is basically you got the offer from Canada.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
apply for the work visa.
Hmm.
Still, there is a chance visa might get rejected because of the funds or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Right.
then you
Because
need to show some nominal funds, I guess. Right?
yeah, we have to show nominal funds, and because very
Maybe I
rare
think that's
cases.
because your case was exceptional. Like your wife moved first, and then she she had to show the fund so that you can join her, and then you can also look for the job. Maybe that could be the reason. Because once you get the
Yeah.
job offer, so as I remember, the funds requirement
Mhm.
is not much there. That's what I
Mhm.
found with one of the guys.
Yeah, it's like if you go alone, it's something like $11,000, and if you go as a family, 15,000 to $15,000. It's not huge. Only thing they see also our property. It's something they like to copy the process of US. They will ask you to show the immovable properties, then what savings you have, all those things they wanted to see. But if you go as a student and you are going single, not as a family, then they see that you have family ties back in India. So for sure you are going to come back. But if you are going as a family married, then the family ties all come with you.
No,
So there are cases that they see people don't come back.
yeah, but again, let's say you went for 2 years,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I went for two
You
years.
went
Yeah,
for 2 years, and
yeah.
then what happens after 2 years? Either your contract gets extended. That's one option.
Yes,
One
yes.
other option is after 2 years, they allow you to search for a job for 3 months or 6 months. That should be the regulation, as I guess in most of the European countries, it is like this. They give you 3 to 6 months, you find another job, and then extend your work permit. And then by the time you finish 2, 3 years in Canada, you are eligible to apply for the Canadian PR under Canadian experience class. That's a normal route, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It means that the employers can give easily one-time visa extension up to 3 years if you are willing to stay in Canada.
So, but then yeah, you have to find another job or get the extension with the current employer. But which is normal. It's also case with any
Yeah, yeah,
European country. So
yeah.
yeah, and if you are once you are in the country, it's possible to find a job. Like there is not as much as struggle when you are sitting in India looking for a job and when you are sitting in Canada and looking for a job, right?
Yeah, true. When we are inside Canada, it's easy because most interviews they also wanted me to come in person. Actually, the interview is over. They wanted to see the person by face. So everywhere there is a face-to-face session. We have to go, say hi, have a coffee, and then come back. And the same day the offer letter was issued. It's very simple. Yeah,
That's perfect.
yeah.
Okay. If I have to talk about the challenges after moving, about both the
Hmm.
countries, how do you compare?
Okay. Only challenge what I had in Netherlands is housing. Means, yeah, especially in Eindhoven, it's a small city. They don't have much population. It's totally a 5 kilometer radius city, and ASML is taking a lot of people, really, really lot of people moving inside. They're expanding, they're growing. So it's a place where it's a lot of growth in that sector. So people move in and not enough housing. So I met almost 5 to 6 Indians who all moved some time ago. So they lived in a small accommodation, temporary accommodation, or kind of sharing. And after 6 months, you have a bank salary transaction anywhere in Europe. They give you a home loan, and everyone who want to make a long stay, they buy a home. It's affordable. It's something like 300,000 euros onwards. It starts in Eindhoven city. You can buy a home and they start their life. It's very easy actually. It's less
But
cost.
why can't people, like, in 3 months after you moved, in 2 to 3 months you have your salary slips with you, you can start
Mhm.
looking to rent out the apartment.
Yeah, the thing is, rental normally the prices are low. One thing I would point out specifically is that even if there is a high demand for housing, not many houses are open. Still, the prices don't come up, go up dangerously. It's still low. It's regulated. It looks like it's regulated. They don't increase a lot.
So
But
you
what
mean for
happens
the
is
renting or for the purchasing? I'm
for
a
the
bit
renting. I mean, yeah, for the
okay.
renting. Yeah, for the renting. What
Then
happens
why
is
don't
up to
people rent it?
Okay, the thing is, not many houses are available. The procedure is quite different. You cannot straight away see a house address and you can go and visit. That's not possible. As per regulation, we have to apply for visiting. We have to take an appointment,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
normal.
appointment, yeah, that's normal. It means that the first or second person goes, they pick the house, and you don't get it. So I actually applied. From being in India, even my friend applied on his behalf. On my behalf, he did it, but we didn't get any. That's one thing what I see in Netherlands, but it's only in Eindhoven city, not in Amsterdam, Rotterdam, big
Yeah,
cities.
yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, alternate idea is you have to buy a car and travel some 10-15 kilometers every day one way, live in another small town or city, then you can manage for sure.
But yeah, even in Germany or
Mhm.
maybe other city, it takes to
Mhm.
find. When I say Germany, I mean the big cities. For example, Munich, Berlin, Stuttgart. It takes two to
Mhm.
three months to find a rental apartment.
Yeah.
Takes that much time. That's why maybe I can share something here for the guys looking to move to Europe or any other countries. So
Mhm.
first, get a job offer, apply for the visa, move here, get a temporary place. There are a lot of websites you can find a temporary place and
Mhm.
stay there 2 to 3 months. And during those 3 months, start like keep looking for the rental apartment. That's what I would say. Yeah, because it takes 3 to 4 months to find the rental apartment. Yeah,
Yeah. So
might
we
be
took something
expensive.
like, oh,
Mhm.
sorry to interrupt you. So we
No,
took
no, it's
something
okay.
like a temporary accommodation. It's like a studio type apartment, but they allow us for a stay of 3 people. Normally, you will find many studios are for bachelors where one person can stay, or you get one bedroom and a common shared hall. This a lot is available, and if 2 people want to stay, still they will get something, especially in Eindhoven city. But if 3 people, like 3 people are with kids, 2 kids, there is some government regulation. They need some square meters for
Mhm.
a family of
True,
4.
true, true, true.
Yeah, so we have to wait really longer than we would normally expect, because I started search something 2 months before I started. I traveled there. It took for me 4 months to find something, but I didn't find any. So that is one kind of motivation when I got the Canada visa. I already lived in Netherlands for 2 months, and I also faced this housing crisis. Then Canada looked more lucrative for me. I moved it. Otherwise, I could have denied. That's the only reason why I should leave Netherlands, being a beautiful country, good job, secured. And next 5 years, I had the PR. I mean RP. I don't need to move out. And before the RP ends, I can write a Dutch exam, and I can get a PR or a citizenship. Both are easy.
But then people also get paid very well in Netherlands because we have examples. People got the offers from 80,000 to 100,000 euros. Even in booking.com, we have people working with
Mhm.
120,000 euros a year in right now.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. There are in-demand occupations, even ASML, because I was an contractor to ASML. I'm not a direct employee. If I've been a direct employee, then I could have got little better paid. And if I'm in a software
Yeah.
or a higher position,
Yeah.
there are chances. Netherlands is not also low in
Yeah,
payments.
yeah. And
Mm.
also, maybe you should mention maybe about
Mm.
30% ruling, which we
Yeah,
cannot
that's
miss
important.
here. Maybe you can tell
Yeah, I
about.
forgot to mention. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So basically, what they do is, out of your taxable salary, they make something like 30 percentage of your taxable salary gets non-taxable. It means if you are coming in a highly skilled migrant HSM category, and for the first 5 years in Netherlands, you get this opportunity. But after 5 years, then you will pay taxes like anybody who would do based on their salary. So it means that you will get extra easily, even for a minimum pay, you will get easily €1,000 extra on your bank account every month. That's a very good thing.
How many? Sorry.
Easily €1,000 per month.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a huge
it's a lot
amount.
of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. Yeah,
A single
with
student
30%
can
ruling.
live without any problems in thousand
Yeah,
euros. Yeah, yeah.
sure, sure. Yeah,
Perfect. Yes, yeah, yeah. That's a good way because they want you to stay in the country, and then yeah,
yeah,
eventually you become eligible for
yeah.
citizenship, and then yeah, then you are permanent citizen, and then the government keep getting the taxes from you. Maybe I want to summarize it with an example. Let's say
Hmm.
someone gets a salary of 80,000 euros,
Hmm.
right? And then there is some in every country there is certain tax free amount for everyone. For example, in
Hmm.
Germany it's 11,000 euros for single, or for if you are married it's 11,000 plus 11,000. So 20,000, 22,000 is tax free for everyone, right? So there will be x amount same in Netherlands. Let's
Hmm.
assume 10,000. 10,000 is tax free for both the people, husband
Hmm.
wife. So
Hmm.
60,000 is left. Now out of this 60,000, you are saying they will put another 30% tax free, which will be six into like 30% will be 18,000 of 60,000. So
Hmm.
18,000 will additionally will be tax free, which
Tax
will
free. Yeah,
become 42,000 will be the taxable income for next 5 years if you are working at the same salary, for example.
exactly, exactly. Yeah,
That's wonderful. Good. And then yeah, you get 1,000 euros extra every month for 5 years. It's a big amount. Yeah.
yeah. Because we compared with the salary what my friend got in Germany. We both moved at the same time. So he got in a better job, better position, and big company. And his salary, and finally after taxes, what he got and what I got, both are same.
Yeah, maybe your salary might be less, but then you got the 30% ruling advantage, and
Yeah.
then eventually you were paid more than him. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's a tip for someone like who is moving to Netherlands. Let's say you get even a little bit less salary in the starting. That is okay
Yeah.
because you will still be fine because you are getting paid for 5 years. You move here, work for 1 year, 2 years, couple of years, and then look to switch. Then your salary will be eventually better in Netherlands.
Also, Netherlands, even inside ASML, the official language should be English. You should not make any official communication in Dutch or any other language. You have to make it in English. That's a beautiful part because earlier I also had lived in Germany for 2.5 years on different on-site and deputations. There, they use German. That's one
Yeah,
advantage in Netherlands. Yeah,
yeah, but it depends on the company culture. Yeah,
of
that's
course, of course. Yeah, yeah,
company to company. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, Eindhoven and most of the Netherlands cities are internationalized.
Hmm.
You will see the equal number of foreign population because I can easily identify who are Indians, who are coming from Asia, Chinese. I can identify easily visually. So I could see a lot of people there, and to whomever I talk, they say that it's an international city and it's a expat culture is good. The country also supports a lot of expats and they keep
Hmm.
everything is simple and English. And even I could see if you go to a grocery mart, you see an old guy who is lifting up something, and we ask, "Could I find this item?" He speaks in English. So
That's
English
wonderful.
also seems like a language that everybody speaks and understands.
And what about the challenges of Canada after moving?
Okay, after moving, it's like you have a job, you have an offer letter, but you have not started the job. It means that, and one more thing is your visa is totally valid for 2 years only. So what happens is that the housing, we are limited to take the housing. Say how somebody owns a condo, it means an apartment owned by a single owner is called as a condo. If it is owned by a staffing, if it's owned by a company, it's called as apartment. And there are independent houses. So independent houses and condos, since they are owned by single owners, they have some legal issues. They say that if you have a PR, if you have already started the job, if you have citizenship, because what happens once you move in and you refuse to move out, they cannot simply send you out. They have to do the legal process for another 6 months to 2 years to send you out. So that because Canada is a country which is more giving privileges for people than anybody. If you are,
It's same in Germany. It is same in Germany. If you lose the
yeah,
job,
yeah,
you are living in an apartment,
mm,
the owner cannot kick you out.
yeah,
Just like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
So what happened is I had an offer letter, but I didn't yet start the job. So you have to go with same like every country. You have to go with first month and last month rental as a deposit, and you have to fill an application. They will check your, uh, how your legal things,
Yeah.
like you have a
But
credit history. So this was difficult actually for me.
but I would say it's the same thing what we were talking earlier. Like I was
Hmm.
telling, it's
Hmm.
really difficult to find the permanent accommodation, not
Yeah.
temporary. Permanent accommodation while you are in India. You got the
Hmm.
offer, any country in the world, not just Canada, Netherlands, or Germany.
Hmm.
Find a temporary accommodation in any possible way. Find an Airbnb, find some through some company, whatever. There are a lot of options. They will give you apartment for 3 months, fully furnished, fully loaded. You just take your bag and that's it. You go there and then yeah, start living, and then you get first salary. Now you have something written. Okay, you are working at XYZ company, and start looking for the permanent rental apartment. And yeah, in few months, once you get it, you cancel the contract with that company, because they extend the, like, they have 3 to 6 months contract based on for how many months you book it, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. And then yeah, you have booked from India 3 to 4 months. You come here, keep looking, and when you get something based on your salary, like you told, okay, are you working, are you getting the salary, can, because at the end you have to submit all these documents to the apartment owners, like,
Yeah.
this is my salary, this is my appointment letter, this is my passport, this is my visa, this is my whatever documents. Like, it's, you have to be quite open. It's not like India, right? You have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
submit your documents. Yeah, that's the standard process, I think. Yeah, any country you go, it's normal, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that is what we took. What happened is one apartment accepted us, and we gave the bank draft for first and last month rent. And after reviewing it, normally any apartment says, please give a draft. It means that we are 99% approved. But after giving a draft, I was rejected. They said that you have a job offer, but it is you have not started a job.
Yeah, because you didn't get the first salary yet.
Yes, yes, that
That's
was a
same.
challenge.
That's same in across Europe. Even in every country, you will find the same law, because they want to be
Hmm.
sure. Like I
Hmm.
said, if somebody is living in the apartment, you lose your job, they cannot kick you out
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like this. So
yeah.
that is the reason that they want to be sure. They want to be sure that okay, you are still getting the salary. That's the most important thing. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because
This is
at the
one.
end, yeah, at the end, there is one thing. Like somebody, like let's say if I own the apartment and my tenant loses the job, then still tenant can pay my rent if he really wants to. Because in
Mhm.
these countries, what happens, you are contributing to the social security. If I talk about Germany, you pay 70, like you start getting 67 to 68% of your salary, till some figure, till some cap, that you are still getting a good amount of money to survive, to look for a job. This is called as social security benefits. Basically, if you want, you can really pay the rent. So yeah, but then the person living in the apartment has to be really genuine and authentic. That's what they want to ensure.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah, because for us it's new because we moved from India. We got in Netherlands temporary accommodation easily, and wherever we go, also we found one house which is like kind of it's not a regular house. It's for camping house. That's what we got. And the
Mhm.
owner was an Indian, and he didn't check anything. I just came into ASML. He didn't check any documents. I gave him draft, and he accepted. It was very smooth. But only thing is, it is little in a remote location where we have to come through agricultural lands. And
Yeah.
my wife was a little bit afraid, and we have to finally deny it. That's the one thing what happened. But they took if they see us, they gave it easily. But whereas in Canada, everything is formal. you submit document, they will ask you to sign a letter
Same here.
to check
Same
your
here.
credit history.
Yes.
Oh, same. Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's in
Because for
Germany, it's
me,
same. Like people say,
mhm,
there is a saying in Germany, finding a
mhm.
job is easy than finding an apartment. It's quite normal
Okay,
here too. So
okay.
maybe it's your experience in Netherlands which
Yeah,
was quite
yeah.
exceptional, but I would say it's quite normal everywhere. Yeah.
Mhm,
But anyway, let's go. Okay, which
mhm.
country is more bureaucratic? Like
I
the
I see
processes are
in.
really
Mhm,
slow, everything works on the letters, because in Germany, if you have to
mhm.
get something done from the government department, it's not that okay. Then most of the things will be less online, because before COVID it was totally bureaucratic. After COVID, a lot of things have come online. You can do a lot of things online now, but things are very slow in terms of everything works on the post. So how is the experience, bureaucracy, processes in the government departments in Netherlands and Canada?
Okay, Netherlands, it is simple. Means we submit document, and most of the support is given by our employer. So they submitted everything, and we visited once the local registration. They are ready with our cards. I didn't face any difficulty opening a bank account or some government documentation. It's quite easy. But
Hmm.
whereas in Canada, when you get anything for first time, you get your first health card, the first driver's license, everything first time you have to take an appointment. And there is a different rule for expats versus the natives. If they are a PR or a citizen, they can even go on Saturdays. There are some offices work on Saturday, whereas they call it as Service Ontario and Service Canada. There are two. Service Ontario is the location where we often visit to get a health card or to get our insurance papers, something like that. So we will go there, and you have to go on the weekdays. And if you put an appointment, you have to wait for 1.5 to 2 months to get an appointment. Where that was just 2 weeks. It's all. I will not call it as a bureaucratic. They also have an online process, but only thing is the number of applications and the waiting time is more in Canada. And there are some procedures what Canada follows, like handling criminals. Everywhere they call it as more people friendly, over people friendly. That sometimes there are news channels saying that why a criminal have to be arrested 150 times and again released, because it's like human rights. They support people. They don't want any person to get killed. That way, I see some such procedures as bureaucratic, and they have a complicated PR process. But many people come in, and a lot of Indians get chance. Out of the total incoming people, almost 60% is Indians, and another 20-30% is Chinese, and various other nations come in. But Indians always being the huge thing. So I would say it's an open gate for Indians. That's what I would call. But
That's
bureaucracy,
wonderful.
after you get the first documentation, it's easy for you.
That's wonderful. So basically, what
Yeah.
to understand,
Mhm.
if you don't have the PR or citizenship, then the process is longer for you, in short.
Yeah. In short, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And which country is expat friendly?
Okay, Canada, both the countries are actually expat friendly. But one thing what I would say is Netherlands being a small country and with a different language, they accommodate people who don't speak their language. They can live all their life in Netherlands without speaking their language. But here in Canada, if you come into Canada, if you don't know English, you can't. So in that expat friendly, but again, Netherlands also need a common language as English.
But
But Canada, they expect.
they help you learn the language. If you don't speak the language and if you deserve it, they support you to learn the language.
Yes, yes, yes. True, true.
Hmm.
So expat friendly, I would call Netherlands the best.
Okay. And what
Yeah,
about the racism in both the countries?
I've never faced any racism. Somebody call it as racism. I've never seen any crime in front of my eyes. Even not even big accidents in front of my eyes. They are actually safe countries.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Okay. Good. I think you have already talked about the renting, so we don't need to touch
Mhm.
upon that.
Mhm.
Uh, okay. So, mm, how's the education system?
Okay. In Canada, it's public schools are there. I have not heard about any private schools. Public schools all taught in English, and if you wish to take a French school, there are also French schools. And so everywhere it's a public school concept, and you don't pay any fee. You just get it for free, like anywhere in Europe, like Germany or Netherlands. It's the same. Only difference between Netherlands and Canada is, since here English is the primary language, except one Quebec. All other provinces in Canada is English speaking, and you will find a lot of English schools. Whereas in Quebec, you may find 50-50 English and French schools, or even lesser English schools. But it means that's the only difference with Netherlands, because Netherlands, they have all public schools taught in English, in Dutch, and some schools are bilingual. So you have to wait a little longer to get a bilingual school. But there are also a couple of international schools available, even in Eindhoven. We had one international school, and the fees is quite lesser compared to Germany, because I think Germany, they charge between 1,000 to 2,000 euros a month for an international school, but Netherlands, they charge 8,000 euros for a whole year. That's much better. Mhm.
Yeah, so that's nice. But just to add some more information here,
Mhm.
if somebody is moving to Germany, having
Mhm.
kids, let's say sixth or seventh class, they don't struggle. Reason being, first 6 months in the education system, they know you are new. They will
Mhm.
teach only German plus science plus maths. That's it.
Okay.
Until, because in 6 months you will be surprised, your kid will be at least at the B1 level, talking general German to communicate with the teachers, with friends. They really give the environment culture to the kids, so kids adjust very fast in the German language after come, because that is the beauty. That's how they have designed their system, because this is a diverse country, having people from across Europe, outside Europe also. So yeah, that's how they have designed it, so which is working, I would say. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
even in
seeing.
Netherlands,
Yeah.
even in Netherlands, it's the same way. They consider expats and they have to adapt in all those things they are doing. But only thing, since we hear it newly, we are not much confidence on their system. That's why we go for international. It's not their system is faulty. Yeah.
Got
And
it.
another thing is what we think additionally is, okay, if I'm living in this country, if I don't like this work, if I want to leave this country, go to another country, or go back to India, then again I will have some gap. Again, learning a different language. These are all limitations in our mind, but
Yes,
not really with the system, I would say.
yes, I would say.
Yeah. So I was more dependent on international schools in Eindhoven. Yeah.
But just one thing I always think
Hmm.
is, maybe that's a very good point you have mentioned, that somebody coming here, like, you have the fear for sure, like, will I stay here or not, long term or not? That's one thing. But then, let's say if I'm here for the long term, right? Because in the international schools, what I have seen, mostly Americans will come, Australians will come, and then their kids will go there for a few years, and then they move back to their home country, right? That's how it works. Germans, I wouldn't say that Germans are not there. German kids are there, but yeah, percentage will be less than, like, in Germany, roughly no more than 30%, right? So practically less of a German speaking environment. But if you are here for the long term, you have decided, okay, I'm going to stay in Europe, I'm going to stay in Germany, then it's good for your kid to go to the public school, because then kid grows up in that kind of environment. Then he can make the German friends. He understands, okay, how the culture works, what are the festivals, and yeah, how things work here. So then he gets used to it, and then it gets much easier for your child in the long term, and then eventually you also learn from your kid. No?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if you take international schools, then Indian kid grows as an Indian kid even in Netherlands, right?
Yeah, yeah. But
So
then,
they
yeah,
will
in the
form
long term,
groups.
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So, but whereas in Canada, since we are good with English, and any school we get English, so that's also one attractive factor. From the beginning, we thought Canada is good over Netherlands because of this. If we had a smaller kid or a kid above 18 years, then we don't have any restriction. It's only our mind restriction. It's not the system again, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah. True, true, true. Yeah. And how do you see the transportation in both the countries? You mentioned about the bicycles already
Yeah.
in Netherlands, and Canada doesn't have this. Other than this, how do you see the public transport?
Okay. The city where I lived, Eindhoven, it had only buses, but the whole city is something like 5 kilometer radius, and the buses are frequent. Only thing, when before buying a car, if you would like to 100% rely on a bus transportation, then we have to see the rented houses. close proximity to bus stops and bus routes. Otherwise, sometimes we have to walk little long inside the residential area to reach our house. That may not be so good when we are at urgent moments, right? Apart from that, they have a very good coverage of public transportation. No worries. If you have a house, you can live without a car. That's possible in Netherlands, also in Canada. Only difference: Canada is so big. Some streets like Yonge Street in Toronto, it goes to several thousand kilometers. Normally, we see a street, or we call it as a road in India. That road will go something like 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers as a straight street. That's really marvelous. But here, I'm traveling in one street. It's like 50 kilometers long. It goes beyond that, but I stop at 50 kilometers distance from the main city. So streets are long, and every time you want to reach a destination, that's two streets apart. So you have to change three buses.
Okay.
But there are many possibilities that if you know that this is my job, this is where I'm going to work, you can choose in that street an apartment, then you can take a bus. I've lived in Canada for almost 1 year and 3 months without having a car. I never took a taxi, never relied on anybody. I could live in a, but many
That's
people
nice.
complain that Canada, you must need a car. Oh, you don't have a car. How can you live? Without car, you cannot live. Many people used to commend me who are living in Canada, but it's not true. It's not true. We have multiple options. We can rely 100% on public transportation.
That's amazing. I also always used to think, okay, in Canada you cannot live without a car. That's my what I heard from everyone. That's
Uh,
interesting.
yeah, and also people say that here the winter is really very cold. Many days there are snow. And how do you manage to wait in bus stops and all? There'll be questions. Yes, you need a good clothing, good winter shoes. They are going to cost $50 a winter shoe and $50 a winter jacket or $100 a winter
Yeah,
jacket.
definitely.
If you're protected from cold, if you're protected from slipping down, then you are good. Because I
Yes.
traveled like that for many, many months here, even during winter. I crossed one full winter. So I survived basically. It's only that we should have a strong willpower to live in a different environment condition. It's not about the bad conditions here because we see many people who cannot afford to buy a car, who are really getting very low wages. They always depend on bus.
So it's in the mind at the end.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
Only thing, how much time you can spend in the transportation. Say you and your wife, both of you are working, and your kid have to stay home. The kid is a small kid, so we have to say we have only 2 remote days. She have 2 remote days. Then what to do the fifth day? And we have to come early, do some household chores, support wife. So these things and all is really affecting us whether to take a transportation which takes more time compared to your car. That's the only decision. But if you are able to manage that, if you have some level of autonomy, then we can manage with public transportation, no issues.
Basically, you are recommending to like somebody has the car, then he can save on time.
Yes, yes.
Okay, got it. You mentioned one thing that you can live anywhere in Netherlands, and bus network is really good. It's just that sometimes you have to walk a little bit. You said walk longer. You said this word.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I ask how, when you say long, how long do you walk? Like the person has to walk, maybe it. I want to understand because I have something in mind from Germany perspective. That's why I'm asking this
Mhm.
question. Yeah,
It's long means again only for Indians like me because India I had my own car, my motorbike, so I don't need to walk at all. So for me, walking 1 kilometer from a residential
it's
area
long.
to the bus stop is long for me. It's only for me.
That's why I asked this question because
Mhm.
here also maximum you walk 1 kilometer maximum,
Yeah,
and then you have bus, tram, U-Bahn, I mean metro or suburban train. You have everything in
Mhm.
the vicinity, and one kilometer is like 7 minutes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or 10 minutes,
Mhm.
right? So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I wanted to understand this long word. Yeah. So basically, yeah, everything will be in the vicinity of 1 kilometer in terms of transportation.
Yeah, yeah, true, true.
Perfect. Good. Okay, if we compare about the insurance and health system between both the countries, what do you say?
Okay, health system in Netherlands is you have to pay and buy an insurance. It's part of your salary. They will
How
deduct
much?
for insurance. I heard something close to 100, not even 100, 60, 70 euros per month per person,
It's
per of
nothing.
value.
Okay.
It's nothing. And it's covering the basic health care. And if you want to cover more, I know in Germany it's much more than that. Um, so for kids, it's low based on age and all. It's different. And then what I saw is, you know, to have an enhanced healthcare, you would normally tend to pay more because, like, you want to cover dental, eye care, ear care, and if you have some specific health issues where you may require some kind of physiotherapy, those things you will add a little bit. So it may even exceed 150 or 200 euros, but ideally you can stay within 100 per person per month.
That's
This
nice.
is in Netherlands, yeah. And actually we didn't get a quotation properly because we came initially with an international insurance, and before changing over to the Dutch insurance, we actually
Okay.
moved out of Netherlands. Yeah,
Basically, you don't know much about it. Okay, that
much,
makes
yeah,
sense.
not a
Yeah,
clear value, precise
yeah,
value.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Because if I talk about Germany, yes, I'm almost paying how much I can say, like 1,400 euros for all three of basically kids are covered automatically, free of
Mhm.
cost in the public insurance. Yeah, but for adults, you pay 6 to 700 if you are working per person.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
So yeah, or maybe some cases 800. So yeah, we are like I said, 1,400 easily we are paying. Yeah.
yeah.
Good. So then, but what
I
about
think
the Canada? We forgot
Canada,
about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good catchy thing. So you don't pay any. If you go as a student, then you will buy your own insurance, which will be something like 500, $600 a year, or not, yeah, 1 year. But whereas if you do a job and you pay taxes, then you get a free insurance for you, your wife, and kids. Parents are not covered.
Mm-hmm.
And this health insurance is something like covering all the critical illnesses that is going to kill you or disable you. But again, there the dental, eye care, ear, these things are not covered. So, but the employer naturally supports it just to have a better compensation on employment. They give all those things. So you pay a minimum money. I pay something like 30, $40 a month, which is to have some extra care, better care. And for 1 year, I pay something like $2,000, which is a
Three,
kind of term insurance.
3,000.
$2,000 a year,
Okay.
which is optional. It is covering up for
Life
100
insurance.
life. It's a term insurance, $100,000 coverage in
Yeah.
case if something happens to us.
But you don't get the back like in the term insurance. You don't get
Nothing.
that get
I
back
don't
of
get
money.
back.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
normal. It's
exactly.
everywhere normal. Everywhere normal. Somebody wants it, can take it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and hospitalization. It's like I don't hear about any private hospitals exist. All government hospitals.
They do exist.
You go with your health card and you do it. And private, mostly they are clinics, and the surgeries done, which is of not importance. Say you want to do a LASIK treatment for eyes or a skin care treatment. These are all not covered in these systems. You have to pay from your hand,
How
and the
much?
government hospitals don't do it. Yeah, they will be say if you visit a eye care doctor just for checkup, you pay $100 in a clinic,
Just for
and
checkup.
just for checkup, yes.
Okay.
Just he will write what is your eye power.
Maybe
He
I'm
will suggest for
curious
glasses.
here. Maybe I'm curious
Hmm.
here. What do you pay
Hmm.
for consultations? For what things you pay? For what things you don't pay? Because I'm bringing Germany into context here.
Okay. So for consultation, if you visit any private clinic, if you are between the age of 19 to 64, this age you have to pay a private clinic, and then you
Okay.
have to get it reimbursed from your private insurance. Many
Mm-hmm.
people will own Sun Life, which is given by the company, and we pay some small money. So I nominally I pay $100 to $150 for a consulting. So it may be a eye doctor or a dentist. You pay easily $100 to $150 per visit. And then
Okay.
glasses, other thing, glasses are very expensive. For me, it's like $250 for a basic glass. It's not having any computer protection, the Blu-ray protection, and the frame is not so fancy. So easily I end up paying something like $800 to $1,000 for one set of glasses. What I would get something in India for 2,000, 3,000.
But I think it's different here in Germany if I compare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay any single penny for any kind of consultation. Doesn't matter. My
Oh, really?
teeth, my glasses, my ears, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So almost everything is covered. Root canal is covered, uh, and basic glasses are covered also,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. And yeah, also like lot of things are covered. You because you are paying 700 euros per person every month,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So lot of things are covered. Even if I talk about the glasses, you get a decent glass. It depends on you. Like people also wear the 40-50 euros glasses, but yeah, if you want to have a good glass, good specs, which you will get in 150 euros or maybe maximum 170 with everything loaded,
Okay.
blue HD or whatever, like night kind of,
Mm-hmm.
light kind of, there
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of things, so you get everything loaded in 170 euros. And then you can pay another 15 euros for the insurance. If your glass breaks or gets lost, you order next one, you just pay 30%. 70% will be covered by the insurance.
Okay, that's good.
That's
Good. Even
really good, I
insurance
would
for
say.
glasses.
We
Okay.
we have used that insurance for our daughter couple of times because we
Mm-hmm.
always have good glasses for her, and then yeah, it works, I would say.
Yeah. So
So
usually I see here many of my friends who go to India, they buy
yeah,
glasses from India. They
yeah,
pay 5,000 in India, they get glasses, which is of the maximum spec what we would pay here, $1,000.
yeah, I used to do that, yeah, but then I found that okay, it's more better to do it here with insurance, so
Mm.
not bad.
Yeah, yeah. We
Yeah,
pay it,
yeah,
so we should use it. Mm.
yeah, yeah, fine. Okay, so you don't have much knowledge about the social security system in
I
Netherlands,
have.
what I
Ah,
understand.
yeah, Netherlands.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you can talk about Canada.
Okay, Canada. One thing
When
is,
I say when I say
mm,
social security system, one, I'm including pension. Maybe you
mhm.
can also add some other points. Maybe you want to mention.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So first thing I will start with like what you get Kindergeld. The same thing here we get a
Wow,
childcare benefit CCB. So childcare benefit they pay once a child is born, and they start something above 1,000 or even close to $2,000
for
a
a year.
month for a month.
Wow.
So people who have three kids, they get a lot of coverage because they say that if you have a young kid, you have to pay for the nanny, you have to put them in the daycare. But if you have also daycare expenses beyond, that is also covered to some level, and then you can claim it for tax reduction. Because here the daycare is really expensive. But people who many people get remote days every week, say 2 days, 3 days, who have young kids, they get it. And both father and mother, they get maternity, paternity leaves, and we can extend it. It's something, the fancy features that normally the companies in India, the government companies, and also the MNCs, what they give in India, the same facilities are available here. You can take up to 2 years leave to child raising leave. Even
But
the father gets it.
you get paid during that leave in these countries. No,
No, actually,
in
it's
Canada, no.
it's not not the whole duration because women get something like 6 months beyond which they
Hmm.
have to. Whereas in India we get only 3 months, and here they get 6 months, and men get to take care of their kids. I think 3 months, something like that, not beyond.
Okay.
But the main attractive thing is the childcare benefit. So whoever comes as a PR or whoever is a citizen, they start getting immediately. But person like me who came on a work permit, I will start this childcare benefit after 18 months of stay. So something like if you have a kid who is doing a middle school, you will get around 500, 400, $500 a month. Canada thinks that okay, if you have one kid, they need a separate bedroom. Your rent will be high, and you need a larger car. You need more space on the car, and you need to give them food.
Hmm.
and uniform. Some schools have uniforms, so that
Mhm.
expenses they give. So they make sure that the government raises your kid, and you don't spend any money. You only be a guardian to the kid. That's what I see in an ideal
Okay.
case.
Yeah, got it,
And
got
then
it.
about the pension, pension is not so great. Once upon a time, it was good, but recent days the inflation and prices hiking up. Pension is somebody works on a moderate wage and worked for 20 years. They would get around $800 a month as a pension. So it means that it forces you to say own a house so that you don't pay any rent, and one person with one owned apartment, no EMIs. Then you get $800. With that, you can manage your basic expenses like food and local transportation and all.
After you retire.
But after retirement, but
But
it
then
won't pay your.
pension
Mhm.
pension doesn't vary based on like how much I'm contributing from out of my salary every month.
Yes, yes, that is going to contribute. That's why I mentioned something like a medium wage, and contributing for 20 years. So it's same like I think in Europe means you contribute more number of years, amount of money you contribute, you get accordingly.
So which country you like more, Canada or Netherlands?
I like Netherlands, not really
Why?
Canada,
Why?
because Netherlands allows me to live a very simple life,
Mm.
and since many people are expats, they have a kind of special consideration for supporting expats. So if I fail to get a PR or a citizenship, still employers can provide me visa indefinite duration. And until every time it expands to 5 years. And if I lose a job and within 60 days I don't find a job, obviously I have to leave Europe. But if I continue to get some job, it's very easy. So what happens is bringing somebody from India to Netherlands is little difficult compared to if I'm already in Netherlands and I get another job. Now I have to change some information on my permit, then it's easy. And without a PR or citizenship, I can live all my life in Netherlands. But in Canada, at some point of time, you should have a citizenship or you should have a PR. So somehow I will be forced to get naturalized, right? That's not there in Netherlands because
So
I've seen many
basically, yeah,
Chinese.
got it.
Mhm,
So you mean in Netherlands
mhm.
or in Canada?
I mean, in Canada, somehow you should get naturalized. Somehow you should
Okay.
get a citizenship or PR, even to enjoy some benefits. Say every time when you go on a work permit, the employer is going to extend 2 years, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. It's going to happen like that.
But
But
you
if you
can
buy
apply for Canadian Experience Class PR.
yeah, yeah, I'm telling that. I'm telling that. Yeah, I'm coming to that. It means that somehow you are forced to get naturalized. It means a PR or a citizenship. You have to put some effort. You have to pay some money. Because I've seen many Chinese colleagues in Netherlands. They lived there more than 10 years. They didn't apply for a PR. They didn't apply for a citizenship. Nothing. They say that I have work. I will live here. Once I don't want to, I want to go back. I will go back. So there is no kind of pressure to get a PR or a citizenship. But whereas in Canada, you have to get a PR or a citizenship somehow, directly or indirectly, you have to get naturalized, right? You have to become a PR or a citizen.
Just to understand,
Hmm.
when you say you are forced or you have to be get naturalized, is it because they
Hmm.
have some limitation? Okay, if you worked for 5 years, for example, I'm putting just example,
Hmm.
on a work visa,
Hmm.
either you apply for PR or go back. Is it something like this?
Uh, yeah, if an employer is supporting you with work permit or you are getting a PR, of course you can stay here. And if once you got a PR, you work or not doesn't matter. After 5 years, you can extend it for another 5 years. But what happens? What is the main difference I wanted to quote is, say, my friends lived in Netherlands. They only had a 5 year RP, not PR, RP. With that, they are able to buy a house on loan, on long-term loan. They're able to buy a car on long term, which is 7 years, but they have RP only 5 years. And they also start getting the childcare benefit. They can enjoy every benefit as a Dutch citizen would do, except voting rights. But whereas in Canada, for a simple Amazon credit card, you need PR.
Hmm.
You go for a car loan, you want to lease a car. They will see what is the duration of your visa. Most
Okay.
banks don't give you. and you
Got it.
cannot buy a house. You cannot buy a house on loan because you're there, because it's like many people in Canada who are not citizens will definitely have a PR.
Got it. Got it. So basically, yeah, to leverage those additional benefits in
Hmm.
terms of financing,
Yeah,
you need the PR.
yeah, of
So
course, because
directly or indirectly, because
mhm,
let's say you want to buy a house, then yes,
mhm,
buy an apartment, whatever, then yes, you need to get the PR first, and then you
yeah.
get, yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, also the house is house rent. In Netherlands, if I go to an apartment or an independent house, it lies between 1,200 to 1,600 euros a month.
Hmm. Yeah.
And above that, you will pay the utilities. But in Canada, if you live in an apartment, rental apartment, you will pay, now it has increased something like $2,300 plus electricity. And the house, you will pay $3,500 plus utilities, every utility.
When you say house, you
Then
mean the independent house.
independent house,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And condo you will easily pay 3,000. Then what happens is, if people want to live in a house where there are more family members, I get an independent house, I can park two cars, I have a kind of freedom, a free living. If somebody prefers that, then they have to go for a house purchase, right? And because there is a big difference, it's not worth to pay 3,500 as a rent, so they would obviously think that they want to go for a home loan. In that case, recently there is a government regulation that you cannot buy a house or property if you don't have a PR. And also, to do a business, you need a PR.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
Netherlands is, they don't see anything. They see that you have a valid visa to stay. Doesn't
You're
matter
getting
about the
salary.
duration.
You're
You're
getting
getting
salary.
salary.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow you want to start a job. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
start a company. You want to start your own business. There is not a big paperwork.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So, which country, in terms of average salaries,
Mhm.
one gets paid higher?
Okay. Average salaries in terms of numbers without considering the exchange values, I would say Netherlands and Canada both are same.
Mm-hmm.
Both are same. But US pays more, but Canada is not, because many people, if they say we get $5,000 a month, it is great. But for that $5,000, how much taxes you pay and what is the rent? Easily 2,000 to $2,500. That's a huge money, huge contribution towards rent. But whereas Netherlands, for the same 5,000 euros a month, what you pay on rent is really low, right? Finally,
Yes.
if you see top numbers, I have seen people who are getting $150,000, $200,000 as salary. But how much percentage will be able to get? That's not much.
Average will be 100, but that's what I have seen, like the kind
Yes,
of offers people are getting from Canada in
yes, yes.
academy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and one thing here to notice, in addition to all your expenses, if you own a car, if you come newly to Canada, you will end up paying easily 400 to $450 every month for car insurance.
It's normal. It's everywhere. Yeah. Yeah,
Also in
but then
Germany.
people don't buy the car immediately. Maybe in a year, first you convert the license or whatever. But yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But
and
just
whatever I mentioned, sorry to interrupt, whatever I mentioned, everything is applicable for Ontario, especially the Toronto city. But if you go somewhere to Saskatchewan, Alberta, or Quebec, you don't pay more than $100 a month for insurance, and your rents
oh,
are 1,100, 1,200. There you will also get a competitive salary. But only
yes,
thing is, it will be 20, 30% less, and the number of jobs available in those provinces will be comparatively less.
yes, yes.
That's
But the
one thing. And
salaries
another
will
thing,
also be less. Salaries will be
yeah, I
less.
need, right,
Yeah.
true. Little
Mm-hmm.
less, 20, 30% less, but
Mm-hmm.
still we can make a big saving if we leave this province and go to other provinces.
Yeah, because you save on the apartment.
Yes, apartment and also the car insurance,
Got it.
like
But
that.
car
Yeah.
insurance, I'll consider the long term, because I have seen mostly people move in and then in 2 to 3 years they consider buying the car. That's what I have seen normally in expat community.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
Or maybe some guys even, but then you also get your salary increased, or you switch, whatever it is. So that's it. That's okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but one thing what caught my attention
Mhm.
is maybe I want to ask you,
Mhm.
living expenses. When I say living
Mhm.
expenses, maybe what's the difference between not rental charges, not insurances, maybe groceries, toiletries, your mobile phones, your Wi Fi, and eating out in a restaurant once in a week. So, just general things. So, how
Sure.
expensive is Canada in that sense? How expensive is Netherlands in that sense? And where do you pay more? Where do you pay less? And then where do you get more value?
Okay, sure. That's a key point, right? Because here for a three-member family, I have to easily spend $1,500, excluding rent and including transportation. Okay, transportation we can reduce something like 100, 150 to $200. Then it's like $1,300 expenditure. If you talk about specific about the utilities, say electricity, it's the same $50 here. There, I think something like 50 euros or 100 euros. And then in apartments alone, we don't pay for heating, but at houses, we will pay for heating. Means
In
the
Canada.
gases. Yeah, in Canada, yes.
Okay.
In Europe also, you will pay the same thing in houses. Here we pay for heating, water, electricity. These three only in independent houses we pay. Apartments we pay only electricity. So those prices will be something comparable. But apart from that, if I say an example of internet to get a good internet here, I have to pay $50.
Hmm.
So I've taken the most cheapest one that is $40.
Okay.
But in Germany, I remember in the past I've used something like 25 from O2,
It is still
and
there.
still
But yeah,
there.
that's
Okay, good.
just a plain internet, not 300 Mbps or something. Yeah, just 100
Yeah,
Mbps you get in 25 euros. It is still there. Yeah.
yeah, and for the mobile, I paid 20 euros. It's not a
Yes,
famous
yes,
company. It's like Leica, and I can make international calls to multiple countries
yes,
unlimited.
yes, true, true, true. That is still there. Yeah, in
Yeah.
terms of if I see mobiles, Wi-Fi, because let's say you are a
Mhm.
working professional and you don't have to
Mhm.
do YouTube, no, you don't have to do any streaming. Maybe you can do the Skype calls or maybe Zoom calls to your family. I think you will be done in 20-25 euros in terms of Wi-Fi, 20 euros per person for mobile. So in 100 euros or maybe maximum if you're going for a high speed, 110 euros, 20 euros. That's the cheapest thing I have seen here. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So here you have to pay easily, even if you take a prepaid, just 1 GB internet per month and only local calls and SMS. You have to pay $40. That's the minimum you would see.
Mhm.
If you want to pay 25, then you don't get any internet, no internet, just
Okay,
calling.
okay, okay.
And
Fine.
then milk prices in Germany and Netherlands, we'll get a nice milk container of 1 liter with a cap. Here, with a cap, it will be $3+ per liter, and
Wow,
without a cap, you pay $2.5 per liter.
it is
So
still expensive.
yeah,
Yeah.
what people do is they buy a 4 liter packet, means three packets carrying 4 liters, like what we buy in India in packets, three packets, 4 liters, and that we have to pay for $5.5 in some good shops, and many shops you have to pay $6 to $7 easily.
Milk.
Only in
This is
Shoppers
cheap
Drug
here, I
Mart.
would say. Hmm.
Yeah, because I got for €1 in Netherlands, I got a nice organic milk, one
True, true,
liter
true.
with cap. So you need to have
Full
additional
fat.
container,
Full fat.
full fat. Yes, yes,
Yes.
true. Yeah, either full fat or you can get a moderate fat, and you get an organic milk for €1.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True.
So every month you will spend easily 200 euros there, 200 or 150 euros just for groceries, with most of the time cooking at home, and outside food is 150 to 200 euros in Netherlands. But whereas in Canada, you have to spend easily 400 to $450 every month with a minimum grocery, with a
True.
more conservative way, finding the right shops which are cheaper. Then outside food, you will easily end up paying 400 to $500. So overall, I would say that including rent nowadays, you would require $4,000 after taxes. You need to get it in hand without a car. If you own a car, One car add $500, two car add $1,000. And also one more thing, in apartment you have to pay 150 to $200 for parking.
Okay. Yeah, it's then in all the sense what you have explained, Europe
Mhm.
is way too cheaper.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
Maybe that I
In
really
Europe,
want to, yeah.
yeah, if you live a conservative life, if you take just an electric bicycle, because one of my friend living in
No, even
Germany.
even you have the car or like medium car, average car. Not I'm not talking about BMW. Decent car you have Skoda, which is still
Mhm,
counted as decent,
mhm.
and then internet you are talking, groceries you are talking. So everything is quite cheaper overall. So that's less expensive here. What I find based on I'm getting the feeling that okay, you are saying Canada is 20-30% expensive if I have to conclude compared to
Yeah,
Germany,
yeah,
Netherlands, or other European countries in
exactly.
these things. Okay.
Yeah, in simple terms, if you want to talk, if you want to explain about expenses, the expenses are like US, and
Okay.
the salary is like Europe. I'm talking about the basic wages. Means you get less salary and you pay like how they pay in a rich country. Even insurance, my friend pays for a large SUV, $100 every month.
Okay.
For a
For
normal car, they pay $50 for insurance per month,
okay.
car insurance. But here, I have to pay 8 times more. But only in this province, only in this city. And how they
So
charge is, if you come newly, you will pay easily $400 to $500. And as time goes, you don't make accidents. Even if somebody hits you from
then
the
it
back,
comes.
still it's increased. Yeah.
Got
So
it.
it
Got
takes
it.
5 years to get low, and if you make any mistake, it stays in your history for whole life.
Yeah.
Not like India, you make an accident and the insurance is only for the car, not for the driver. Here, the insurance is for a driver. Yeah.
So to summarize,
Mhm.
if you get a very high salary in Canada,
Yes,
especially
I'm really good.
Ontario, yeah,
Mhm.
then it's worth moving. Otherwise, if you are getting average salary in Europe,
Yeah,
then it's good to move.
yeah, yeah. True. If you
I'm
get a
not
very
trying
good
to be
salary,
biased. I'm talking based on the
mhm.
facts.
Yeah, true, true. If you are ready to pay more, if you get more salary, definitely Canada is the best place because big country, you can move across. Uh, you have a lot of, for example, for me as an Indian, I would prefer to have a lot of temples around. I have here at least 30, 40 temples to visit. And a lot of Indians, wherever you go, will see Indians, and especially the people who speak your own language. And you won't feel like living in a foreign country.
Got it.
It's just like in India. So that is one thing. And being in Canada, we also have an opportunity after we become a citizen. We can also go to US. This is another possibility, but US pays a lot comparatively, double, more than double what Canada pays.
Then
There are
people say
many people
people
who would,
can
yeah.
US people want to move to Canada to have a PR.
Yeah, for sure, they do it. They do it. Now, recently, there are information that if you have a H1B, you can also come to Canada just for H1B holders.
Wow.
They give, yeah,
Without having the offer.
yes,
That's wonderful.
yeah. That is the difference. Europe does not allow you to enter a country on a work permit or a kind of job basis if you don't have a job offer. But Canada allows you to come inside the country in different ways. Say some countries they have a special MOU signed, so they can come in a class named Experience Canada, and you can come as a student, and it allows you to take your whole family, means your spouse and dependents. They and whoever is above 18 years of age, they automatically get a work permit. And if you come as a, because some countries don't allow that, and you can also apply for an open PR. You don't have a job, but you got a PR, you come inside. This is also another advantage. So Canada allows us to do many things like that.
So let maybe this is a
Hmm.
question popped up when you just
Hmm.
said that. So let's say you are
Hmm.
working in Canada.
Hmm.
You have a work permit for 2 years, and but
Hmm.
your job contract is, let's say, anyhow. I know this gap will not be there. Let's say, but sometimes these things happen. Your visa is valid for 2 years, but
Yeah.
your work permit is for 18. Like no, your work permit is for 18 months. Sorry, I'm confusing. Your work permit is for 2 years, but your job offer is for 18 months. You have this 6 months extra. Anyhow, it happens sometimes.
Mhm.
So you can still stay for 6 months and then look for another job. That's what you are. I can conclude that based on what you said. Okay, you have a valid
Exactly.
work permit, you can come to country.
Exactly. Their work permits are two types. One, I came on a open work permit as a dependent for my wife because she got a job which is limited to 2 years. We can extend, but our intention is to come once and leave after 2 years. That's what initially we came in. Even now we are in that idea. Um, so it means that my wife has a work permit. I have an open work permit. So with my open work permit, I can work. I can stay simply. I need not do anything. Even a PR also. You get a PR, you come inside the country. You don't do any work. You just sit simply. You don't do anything. It's fine. After 5 years, if you lived there for 2 years, you can extend it for another 5 years. If you lived here for 3 years, you get a citizenship. Doing nothing, no work, not paying taxes. You can continue. That's what Canada allows you to
That's a little bit weird, I would say, because there is a lot of
do.
social security complexity and all. We can take that some other time because it's too complex.
Mhm. Mhm,
Fine.
mhm,
So if we talk about the job market in both the countries
mhm.
for, let's say, IT and non-IT professionals separately, if you know about non-IT as well, so you can mention about both the things in terms of both the countries.
Okay, it's only about percentage. So Netherlands, the population is low, country is small. So you may find at a time for your field, even it's for an accounting, you will find easily 40, 50 jobs open. Also for engineering. Similarly, in Canada, because of country is big, population is more, and countries are, I mean, companies are more. You will see for accounting at a time, you will see 200 jobs open, and engineering also you will see 200, 300 jobs open. So it's only the percentage of people versus percentage of companies. That's the only thing. But definitely for both the countries, what I see is that you need a special strategy, how you write your resume, how you present yourself, how you write a cover letter. If we just do copycat like what we typically do, I took a friend's resume, I only change my name and my details, I give it to another company, and they know that they do everything during interview. But whereas these countries, they check, they read your resume clearly, they try to understand, then they choose you whether you should appear for an interview or not. Your resume should be good. Otherwise, many people say that I applied for 100 jobs, 200 jobs, I didn't get any. They are living in the country, they have a PR, but that's a problem. So we need a good strategy to present ourselves to look attractive. For me, the advantage is that one thing, you supported me through our academy. So every time when I appear for an interview, first thing the recruiter calls me and say that, oh, your resume is fantastic. It has a lot of information. Every dot, every space in the interview is filled with some qualification. Even then, they give this to the recruiters give to their technical people, technical teams, and they also comment the first thing, your resume is really good. Only thing, they'll be afraid whether I really possess all the qualification or it's only writing. But they will be first in first hand, they'll be attracted and pick me up for the interview. And wherever I went on, only my expectations that is different from the company made me not to take the job, or I told them openly that I'm not going to take it. But other than that, wherever I apply, I easily get an interview opportunity if the profile is matching. And wherever I attend an interview, mostly I got offer letters. So it means that it's unfortunate, not good to say I have rejected many job offers. That is one way not good, wasting the time of employers for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's fine. You can choose what you want. If you are deserving, you can always choose. And yeah, thanks for the mentioning about this, that okay, strategy worked for you really well, which is wonderful. And yeah, so yeah, so you said one thing that okay, which I want to highlight, that you're sitting in Canada, you are having Canadian PR. Your strategy is not good. Getting a
Mhm.
job is difficult. That's what I could sense the way you
Exactly.
mentioned it.
Exactly. Because we have seen many PRs coming here, waiting for 1 year, 2 year, applying for jobs, and they do some meager work in some food stalls, some delivery jobs. Then some people, they leave Canada of frustration. But the thing is, they should have the right strategy. And one more thing, I would say that before coming into a country, we have to see that what is our qualification in terms of education and job, and is the same is required in Canada. we have to just see at least whether these jobs are available for this category. Say, and normal professions like accounting, finance, banking, electronics engineer, software, doctors, all those are generic professions. But say, for example, chemical engineering, it's only an example. You have completed chemical engineering, you worked in a company for a chemical engineering engineer, and you want to come to Canada and you want to live in Toronto. You came to Toronto, but you don't find any chemical engineering jobs in Toronto. You don't want to leave this city. You are afraid of cold weather in the northern provinces. Then it's very difficult. Then we should have some level of adaptability, and our job should be available here. That's most important. So if you have a PR, I would recommend you can come here, you can receive the PR card, go back, don't leave the job, just do all these things on some 2 3 weeks leave. Then staying from India also, you can appear for an interview. They will definitely accept it, and after getting a confidence that you will get a job, or you got even a job for a small salary, come inside, stay, then switch to larger jobs. And one thing I notice is that every time about my company where I worked, they will say, oh, you worked in this company for 15 years, wow. So they also recognize multinational companies which is known in Canada. Say sometimes there are Indian companies, Indian software companies, they are doing great, paying great, but they are not known to anybody in Canada. Then they may consider you one out of 100 uh, candidates. You are not special. So that's another thing. That's another thing. But
That's
apart
how
from that, in
you.
general, yeah,
Hmm.
sorry.
Good, good. Yeah.
Yeah, so apart from that, even if we have a experience in a different the company that is not known to others, but still that particular field is available in Canada, then we have to read at least 10 to 20 job notices, what they require. We have to slightly adjust the resume, we have to adjust the cover letter. If you don't make it to that, I just apply standard resume, apply for 100 companies, definitely no one is going to turn back, that's for sure.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So to conclude, so you have to be
Hmm.
flexible, like you were mentioning this example of chemical engineer.
Hmm.
You have to do your research, accordingly
Yeah,
plan your strategy,
exactly.
and then definitely talking about, let's say you are working into a company which is doing well in your home country in India or in some other country, but it's not known in Canada, then yes, you have to, your CV, your cover letter should really talk based on your expertise and then what they need. So there has to be a connection relation, which I repeat 100 times in a day for sure, right?
And another strategy in Canada, I would also share that there are staffing companies for every
Hmm.
field, engineering, non-engineering. So if these staffing companies get a confidence on us, if they like us, then obviously they are going to pick you. And even if it takes 2 months, 3 months, 3 months, they will definitely find you a job. Because my case, I work from a well-known, internationally known multinational company. But whereas for my wife, it is very different. She's not. She's from a very small company, a small experience, but still, one staffing company liked her very well. And then they gave her multiple opportunities.
Wonderful.
So going through a staffing company is very good, and you have to find which staffing companies are good. And we can connect, as you mentioned in your strategy, that we can connect with those people. We can say that I am so and so, and could you give an opportunity? Something like that. We can also chat via LinkedIn. That helped me. That helped my wife also.
So just to get more clarity, you mean
Mhm.
from India or while you are in the country?
India also,
Okay.
because I remember I contacted after listening to your strategy. I checked for staffing companies, recruiters, and I connected with one person in Netherlands, and he called me immediately. The same thing happened with Canada.
Wonderful.
I just connected with them, and that person he wrote me back that, "Are you looking for a job in Canada?" I said yes. Then give me your mobile number. I gave. Immediately he called me to India. And he said,
Wow.
only difference is that the recruiter from Netherlands told me, if you get a job, if you succeed an interview with our clients, we will give you work permit.
Yeah.
We will give you visa. Whereas the recruiter from Canada, you have to come inside the country with a valid work permit. Then I can give you immediately job for this much salary. He committed it. He told me much before I started, and then He kept up his words. I came inside, I contacted him. He did what he told.
That's one nice.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Uh,
Canada, I've seen even many people say a company which has also a branch in India. They send people with some key skills like CAE, computer aided engineering. They come here and some software. Even from our academy, you mentioned some time ago, one person got a complete support from an employer. Those are all key skills. For example, cyber security, some key skills. They take people from India straight away because they don't find people here. And most people who are qualified here, they move to US easily.
yeah.
Because for a Canadian citizen or a Canadian PR, if you want to move to US, it's a very simple agreement. You just get a job. You don't need to wait for 2 years for a H1B. So many people, many qualified people move from here to US, and US takes millions of people every year. So then Canada always has a void. So then these people move from different parts, majorly Indians. Many Indians moved here with key skills, and they got supported.
So yeah, it's really nice, like the way you have explained in so much detail. Yeah,
Mhm.
good. So, but again, yeah, you mentioned about the like people getting jobs. Now we have more results in terms of developers, I would say, specifically CRM consultants, or you can say Microsoft Navision, for example. So people got the job in Canada straight from India. So it's happening more often than,
Mhm.
yeah, when you were part of the CDA. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yes, it's wonderful. So I think, have we covered what do you like most about both the countries?
I think not. So the most I like this first thing is environment. Say I should not say anything bad about my home country, but instead I would say that my home country is like a lot of people, less funds coming on taxes. So my government is doing it. They will do it. I'm sure one day that will grow up to these countries. But right now, if I see that, say the electricity coming uninterrupted and water, I just open the tap, water comes out. I don't need to buy water. I don't need to store my underground tank, then lift it to top level tank, and then take the water. Be conservative on everything. Here, that is a little bit less. Road facilities, infrastructure is made well. Education is free. Medical care is free. I know historically my families and my friends who spent a lot of money on education, and then every country we have to pay a lot of money for house purchase and some decent amount for car, but car is optional. Many people don't go for that, but house is always an expensive deal for any people in any country. But apart from that, education and healthcare, these two are completely free. Up to grade 12 is free, but not like Germany. Even you get universities for free, but whatever money you pay is summing up to a person who is getting minimum wages will be able to pay a fee for a university.
Yeah, yeah, true.
For colleges, it's much cheaper. It's like 1,500 per term. You study 2 terms in a college, so it's $3,000 if you have a PR or a citizenship. So that way, the education is affordable, even higher education. And companies where I work right now, if I have a bachelor's degree, I'm working with them. After 1 year of experience, they support me to get a master's degree.
Wow.
They pay for it. They give me, still I'm on a full-time job. I spend one day visiting college, and the remaining 4 days I work, and I get the full salary. They pay the fee.
That's
So many
nice.
companies support this higher education. So this support system is good. And
So
another thing
basically,
is,
good, good. Sorry.
sorry, if I get old, say if I'm very old, like I have to use wheelchairs, or I cannot pay a lot of rent. I don't have a own house. Then, like Europe, say Netherlands and Canada, they have that senior homes where they cannot increase the rent beyond some level. It is regulated, controlled, restricted. So they make sure that with your pension you are able to survive somehow, but you also need a little bit of savings, not much. So this is one thing: you pay taxes, you pay pension contribution, and finally you get pension. That's assured,
That's
right?
nice.
And
So,
and if I go with
mhm,
a wheelchair, if I go with a walking stick, the bus lowers so that I
yes,
can get inside the bus, and the
yes,
driver comes out, pulls your wheel. I mean, helps you to move the wheelchair, locks it, belts it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then you have a safe thing that you don't need to worry. Okay, I live in a big city. Will I be safe? Will the bus move before I get in? No worries.
No, no, no. They have a ramp. Bus will tilt a little bit, and then
Yeah,
the driver will move out the ramp so you can move in the
go inside.
wheelchair or whatever. Yeah, that's normal. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just to so basically the thing is what you are
Mhm.
trying to say is the like everybody is paying the taxes and they are being utilized correctly.
Yeah, what we get back as taxes. Finally, if I will see that if I'm a person who is getting a minimum wage, will I be able to survive in this country till I'm breathing?
Got your
That's what
point.
I would see. I don't need to make a lot of expenses, or I have to take a decision of moving out of the city, going to a village, living a meager life. That is not required here.
Just one point which I caught, which is very good, you
Mhm.
mentioned. A
Mhm.
lot of times I hear from the people that deductions are very high. In Germany, for example, they
Mhm.
say they are deducting 30%. And I tell to them every time 30% is not the tax. Your
Yeah,
tax is you are earning 70, 80,000 euros. I'm taking the average 80,000 euros. 12 to 14% you are married, your tax is 12 to 14%. Rest 7% is your social security, another 10, 8 to 10% is your health insurance. But yeah, like you said, you are contributing to the pension. That is your pension you are contributing. And then
yeah.
eventually, when you get retired after 67, that's what you get back. Like you said, like you are getting a good amount of pension, you have some savings. So you are still living the same life, same level of comfortable life what you have lived for years.
And also, I have one more thing to say. Say, I calculated my tax, what I paid back home and what I pay here. So both the places I easily cross the margin of means 30% will easily cross. That's very minimum margin. But finally, including that no tax region, 10% region, 20% region, finally 30% region, we'll end up easily paying average of after home loan deduction and all 22 to 26 percentage is something like a margin. The same money I pay here as taxes without considering the social security or a pension what I pay. But the difference is that today I contribute an X sum of money for pension. And what is the rate of inflation every year? Okay. So after 10 years, what is the $800 can buy? What is the power of that $800? That I will see. Because I remember that my father contributed a sum for a pension. And after he retired, now he gets 980 or close to 1000 rupees, with which we cannot buy a bag of rice for one whole month.
Got
So
your
that's
point.
inflation that government should take care. They have to keep in control. They have to take measures to keep it low. So even if I get meager money, I will be still able to live. I can buy not one bag of rice. I can buy even fruits, vegetables, pay a rent, and I can live. This is what the government had taken care of this, what my taxes do. So finally, if I summarize that from my salary back home, what is the percentage I get out today? It looks big, but that big sum may go if I get injured, if I get hospitalized, or if my
Yes.
daughter wants to take a higher education or in a good university where she don't deserve the marks. She have to we have to pay that money. Even the fees is high. So this is one thing. Another thing is after retirement, I should have a strategy to live. Even if I have the same money what I earn now after taxes, with this money, will I be able to live? If I get the same money after retirement as pension, will I be able to live? It's a question mark.
You mean for
But
Canada?
here, for India,
Okay.
for here, if I get almost half or quarter of the money what I get today after retirement, I will be able to live because how
Yes.
much prices rise year on year. What is the power of your money? Power of $1, Canadian dollar. That's much different. Much different.
Yes. True. That's true. Perfect. Yeah. Very well summarized. Uh, Anything you don't like in both the countries?
Okay, yeah, I would say that people spend a lot, especially in Canada. Uh, Netherlands, I saw a lot of people are very conservative. Here, Canada, they spend a lot of money on buying computers, mobiles, expensive cars. There are cars for 20, 30,000, but they spend 50, 60,000. They think that I pay only 500 a month, but they have to see finally, including interest, how much they pay and what is it for their life. And houses also, they pay a lot of money. So people live in Canada, they get paid like Europe, but they spend like US. That's what I don't like from the people. And then from the government, so it means that it creates a lot of demand and prices rises and the salaries increases. But at the same time, they don't understand that if you get 50,000 a year, the taxes what you pay will double when you get 100,000. You move from easily from 18% margin to 30% or 36% margin. So you pay more on taxes. They don't realize it. This is one thing. They have to be conservative. That some people do, but not many. If they get salary, they spend it. And another thing is that governments say, specifically Indian government, they say that at least in my state, public smoking in the public is not allowed. You should your the smoke what you release should not affect other people. So you have to go away, stay separately and smoke. And any kind of cannabis or anything is totally banned. But here, the major problem in Netherlands and in Canada is that they smoke publicly. They come inside the bus stop shelters. There will be a glass room to protect you from winter. And they come inside and smoke. Sometimes, not everyone, sometimes. And a lot of people smoke cannabis and they come with that same thing in the elevators and in the bus and we smell it. It's really bad. Even in apartments, we have to shut down the windows during sleep because in the night, somebody used to smoke 3 times, 4 times the cannabis and the smell. It's very bad smell, not like normal cigarettes. That's intolerable. And even the opposing parties of in the Canada government, they say that why do you allow all these drugs? You should restrict it. You allow alcohol, normal cigarettes, okay, but not drugs. So this is a little bit annoying in the public. Yeah. Other than that, I don't see problems. They do well everything. Yeah. But politicians, as politicians, every country they are politicians. But government officials, they work really sincerely. That's what I see as an infrastructure maintenance. Everything is done more than what I would expect. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so i- there is a express entry process to enter the Canada. There is a
Yeah.
PNP process.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are quite common. Everyone knows about
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Maybe can you explain what is the PR route for someone got the job in
Mhm.
Canada, came on work visa? How can you get the PR in the long term?
Okay, so Canada has one different thing rating system. They give you score. Say if you are less than 29 or less than 30, you get 100 points, full points. And your education qualification, master's degree, PhD, bachelor's degree, then how many years of experience? Up to maximum 3 years, they consider international experience outside Canada. And inside Canada, they count up to 5 years. So adding experience, staying for 5 years, adding experience, you will get close to 100 points. And then English language. So there are different levels. They recommend CLB 7 as minimum, CLB 9, CLB 10. CLB 10 is you get everything at a maximum score. So that will give you some score. So everything add to your points. So always improving language, English language. You have to attend definitely some coaching centers who will give you the strategy, especially how you have to do the writing part. The listening and speaking part are easy. Writing part is really important. Even reading is easy. You have to practice it, you will get it. But writing, you have to practice. So improving language. And if it is possible, say today you think that in 5 years I will move to Canada, please start learning French. I would recommend. If you are interested, because not many people like learning a new language, but if you're interested, please start French today. Or if you have already entered Canada, please start learning French. And your work permit extends 2 times, 6 years you get. And definitely in 5 years, you will be at a great level if you have tried continuously. That will add you 50 points. And also, French speaking people, they easily get PNP. And their score is 100 points, let's say, instead of getting close to 500, with 400, with 360, they get a PNP. And especially the province Quebec gives priority to French speaking people. It's basically a French dominated province. So French is one important thing. Then if you come here, you can try to take an additional, say you come as a family, both husband and wife. So one person is working. Other person can take a master's degree. Definitely all will be coming with a minimum UG degree. You may also have a PG degree. So there are some universities where you spend 20 to $30,000 a year as a fees. three terms covered in 12 months. So one person, you or your spouse, does an education for 1 year, and another person works for earning, for living. So that degree automatically, master's degree in a university, will automatically qualify you for a PNP. That's all these tips I would tell for people who are above 30 years of age, because above 30, every year you will lose 5 points for age. If someone who is less than 29 and they have 3 years experience in India, a bachelor's degree, and 5 years experience in Canada, and they are decently good at English, then nobody can stop them from getting PR. But the
But
thing
just
is, yeah.
so sorry to stop you here, but the point
Mhm.
is, yeah, you are recommending for 30 plus, but yeah, so will all these things you are mentioning contribute to your Canadian experience class category?
Okay, right now, Canadian experience class category, they stopped something since 2021 July. After that, it didn't happen.
Ah,
That's the
okay.
problem. But we don't know. Canada government have never given a statement that when they are going to restart it. If they restart it, even if you are 40 years of age, you have just 1 year experience in Canada, you will get a PR, no doubt. So it's a
So
current situation. It's not always. Yeah.
just to summarize,
Hmm.
sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah. No problem.
So just to summarize,
Mhm.
that you're 30 plus, you meet all
I'm
those
40 plus.
criterias. Yeah, no, I'm taking the
Oh,
example.
general. Yeah.
Somebody is 30
General. Okay.
plus,
Hmm.
and then you get a job offer. You work to get your IELTS score better. You work for a few years here. You get extra points for your work experience in Canada,
Yes. Every year
right?
for five
And
up to
then
5 years. Hmm.
yeah, up to 5 years, which will
Hmm.
contribute for you to either to get the PNP, either to get the Federal Express Entry PR process.
Yes. Yes.
So in short, the Canadian experience will give you the point for your experience, which no one can take away from you other than your
Yes.
age points. One
Yes.
plus the points for your age, 3 years from India, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the French language plus the master degree. So if you work as a profile on both of you as a family, as a couple, then yes, you will get the PR 100% if you work on this
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So this is what I wanted to understand. That's why, like, yeah,
Yeah, it means that if you are coming at the age of less than 30 to Canada and you have worked here for 1 year, by default, you will get selected in the next draw. And if you are between the age of 30 to 35, then you need to have additional 2 years of experience to reach the same level. It means additional 2 years of experience will compensate the loss of 25 points lost in age 31 to 35,
got
right?
it.
35 to 40 is something that by the time, if you have already 5 years of experience, everything maximum, then there are chances you get a PR. But if you are above 38, 39, or 40, better consider that you or your spouse, one of you, do a master's degree in a university here, so that master's degree in Ontario by default will make you 90% qualified for PNP. If any of these does not work for you, then you take an option of French. French is the most last option because French will help you even with 350 points. You can get a PNP. But if you have an experience, say one example I will tell you. If you have just a bachelor's degree, 3 years experience in India, and 5 years in Canada, and your age is 45, your age score is 0, then your score will be easily 420 points. Now, either you have to find an employer from any of the province, not in Toronto, any of the province, who is ready to support you for a PNP, or who is ready to give an LMIA to add 50 points, or you do French. Otherwise, you can learn any of the key skills which is required for Canada. Say cyber security is very high. You can go into a company, then you can slowly switch over to cyber security. Then you make yourself a key employee of the company. Then you can demand the employer, please give me, otherwise I will leave. I have a job offer. Definitely
Got
they're going to give. So some way there are possibilities. We don't need to take it totally negative. We can come, we can see the options, how much it is applicable for us, right?
got it. Got it. So in a way, let's say you
Mhm.
are more than 38.
Mm.
It's better that one of you pursues the master.
Masters. Yeah,
Then you are ensuring you get the PR, both of you.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah. If that is not an option, learn French, and then yeah, like getting a job offer which sponsors for your PNP or whatever. So these are the two, three options to consider.
Yeah, and if you are willing to learn French, then you don't need to do any of this. Because if you
That's the
get one
last
year,
thing. That's the last thing I
yeah,
can tell you anyone would do.
yeah. Some people who have the interest of learning a foreign language. Some people had French courses in India, but they know very minimum, but they are ready willing to do that.
Got it.
For
Yeah.
example, I will tell you one case. You are not on a critical experience, and sometimes your wife is not willing to do an education. Then what is the alternate? You live here for 6 years, and you spend all the free time to learn French. Then even with 350 points, which will be something 50 to 80 points lower than what you have now, you easily get a PNP.
Got it.
So if you think that Canada is only place where I wanted to live, then you can willfully learn it, and you can go through. Many people I've seen, they also learned French as a new language. They want to survive here. They did it. They got a PR. It's possible.
That's
But
perfect.
I'm not
That's
good at
perfect.
French. For my case, I'm not willing to do that.
But your wife is having the degree, so it's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Perfect. Good.
yeah. Mhm.
So, what are the recommendations for someone to when they land here for
Mhm.
accommodation, for settling in both the
Mhm.
countries? Yeah.
Okay, both the countries. One thing is getting into contact with some friends. My employer, what they did is in Netherlands, they said, okay, there is one Indian guy. I will give his contact details. Then I contacted him. He's normally a person who helps to everybody, even if the person is not known to him. So he's a kind of helping guy, and he supported me. He brought food for me. He helped me to find apartments. He gave references where people go for 1 month vacation to India. For that 1 month, they give that 1 month rent. Means a 1 month
Sublet,
apartment to their
basically.
rent for sublet. Yeah, basically
Yeah.
it's like that. So he referred me two different people, and he also offered his own house for subletting. So like that, we get some support. If we don't have that support, then we have to depend on Airbnb. So for long-term stay in 2 months, what I did is 1 month subletting and 1 month Airbnb. Airbnb is also working very well. Only thing, if there are chances that, say, a family of three, husband, wife, and daughter and husband is getting a job, I recommend that first you come, you spend 1 month, then you explore a little bit. Means you have to make another to and fro ticket for you to bring your family inside. That's a little bit of difficult thing. But if it's possible, I would recommend first one person come, explore things, then you do it. That's what I would recommend. Apart from that, we need to have friends. We need to search a lot. And if you know that at least 3 months in advance you are going to move to a new country, start looking into YouTube videos for housing, for schooling, talk to friends, read a lot of reviews. So it's a kind of analysis you have to do before going inside. You understand the country and get to an idea like that. But anyway, after going there, only somebody will wish to see you by eyes, and only then they will accept. But some cases, in some countries, they say, one of my friend in Germany, he took a rental for another friend who is coming newly. Before he arrived, he did everything. So if somebody can help you out, that's easy.
Got it. Got it. So it applies to
Yeah,
both the countries.
both the countries, yes, yes,
Okay. Good.
because they
Good.
all have a similar set of rules and difficulties and challenges. So we have to do some homework before entering that country.
Okay. Now you are experienced in both. Moving.
Yeah, yeah.
How differently will you approach it now?
Mhm.
Like maybe it's a kind of, I think, similar question what I have just you have just answered, I think, right? Like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
differently will you approach your, like, to handle your move?
Okay. Uh, Say now, if I get a job in Netherlands, I have to move to Eindhoven. What I will do is I will plan some money to initially buy a car. Be flexible to stay 10, 15 kilometers outside of that city. Wherever I get a small town or a village, I will take a house for rent, which is easy to get. Instead of restricting myself, I will take only public transport. I will stay only close to office. That restriction I will take out. So I will be a little bit staying out, traveling, and opting to international school, and initially informing the employer that I will pick up and drop my kid. So there may be some interruptions in the morning and evening, but definitely I will continue to fulfill my duties. This I will agree with. And then I will come first alone. I will make all this setup like finding a house, buying a car, getting a driver's license, everything. It takes 2 to 3 months of preparation. I will do this preparation. Then I will go back, bring my family together. Then I will start my life. So I will spend that initial 3 months settling down things.
Okay.
Whereas in Canada, I don't need to buy a car, but there I have to come work for 1 month, get my first salary slip. Actually, here the salary some companies give every week, some companies give every
Twice a
alternate
month.
week.
Okay.
I mean, twice in a week. That's a norm here, minimum. So I have to work for 2 weeks. I get my first salary slip, show that, take an apartment, buy at least a minimum furniture, because in Canada, all the apartments and houses they come empty. Nothing is there. So not like furnished ones, partly furnished in Netherlands. We don't get that here. Also, there are some houses in Netherlands fully furnished, but you pay more, but still it's fine. But here you will get an empty house. You have to buy everything. But here one thing is, I will find a school wherever I live, so I don't need to worry about schools. Because we have to change over, we have to visit a school. They said that in Netherlands, you bring your kid, we will talk to her, we will see how she can pick up, because it's an IB syllabus. So something like that, they did analysis. Then they want to take whether to grade this grade or one grade early, something like that. They want to see the kid. But here, nothing. They see that where you are living, to which place you took a rent, you work or not, doesn't matter. But you should have a valid, your child has a valid work study visa, and you took an apartment. If your apartment is near to that school, that coverage area, by default you get a school and entry. But if you live from a different area, then you have to apply, you have to wait for the turn comes, then you can move to that school. That's a local
So
for local
yeah,
concept.
when you say study visa, you mean the normal resident permit as a kid, right?
Yeah, for Netherlands, they don't specifically say what type of visa it is. But in Canada, say if I get a job, I take my wife, I take my daughter, then I have to say what visa. For my daughter, if she's less than 18, we have to take a study permit.
Okay.
We have to specifically mention study permit, because some schools they don't ask this, but some schools they ask. It should be mentioned as study permit.
Got it. Got it. Clear.
But if it's above 18, I can choose either a study permit or a work permit. Similarly, for my wife, I have to specifically mention if she needs a study permit or a work permit. And you cannot do both. If you do, say, if I'm a primary applicant, I get a study permit, I mean, a work permit, then I should work, I cannot study. I can do some courses for enhancing myself, but I cannot do a full time study in parallel. It means I cannot take one full time study permit and full time work permit, both I cannot get.
Like you can take one, like you said, one day of study in a week, and then rest is the
Yeah,
work. That's what you can do. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
got it. Okay, so at the end, what would you
Hmm.
say to the people who are searching for the job? Three tips. If they're looking for a job, what shall they do? Only three tips.
Only
Best
three tips.
ones.
Okay. Okay. The first tip is to analyze what jobs are available in the market, and accordingly prepare your CV. That's the very first step. And second tip is write a cover letter that is even more philosophical, attractive, and you say that you are going to devote yourself to the company for your whole life, something like that. It should carry that level of impression. Instead of using fancy words, you can talk about you, and you can mention right on it. This is cover letter is important, because we will be we want to apply every day 100 jobs. So we'll take a resume, attach, send. Please don't do it. It will not work. It will not help you at all. I've seen it practically. And then the third tip would be that try to make connections, LinkedIn connections with the recruiters, and try through staffing companies. Or you can also approach a company, especially in Canada. You say that I want to do an internship. I'm new to this country. I don't have a great experience, but give me internship. I will work here. Then they don't have a bonding agreement with you. You can be thrown out. So take a minimum job, work, show yourself, prove yourself. Then they will consider you for employment. So these are the tips, three tips I would give.
So the third one is specifically if you have a Canadian PR, right?
Canadian PR, open work permit, or something which
Yeah, yeah.
allows you to
It
legally
means
work in Canada.
you're already in the country.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, got it. Yeah, interesting ones. Very well summarized, I would say. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was it. And thank
Okay.
you for joining. So nice of you doing this,
Hmm.
and best wishes to you.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thanks for the opportunity to express my experience. And also, I wish you and the Academy members to get good jobs, what they dream about. And the Academy should grow, supporting many people in the world, not only Indians, not only to Germany, but across the world and everyone in the world. Yeah.
That's
Thanks
the
for that.
plan.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for the wishes. And
Mhm.
yeah, we'll connect again. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Thank you. Bye.